Good day, YouTubers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. We're almost done. Yes, look at that. So what have we done since last time? Well, we painted the ribs. That helped the laser cut edge go away. I didn't want to sand it because it puts dust everywhere when you do that, and it's hard enough to keep it clean inside there. Just as easy to paint it with the tan color. And we added a little bench in there for the chain. Got hanging on that, and some of the eye bolts. So about half of it's only visible here. The other half goes way to the right there. A couple more buckets. And we painted the back end with some yellow to help brighten up that rear end. This was a real light colored wood, like the planking on the side here, the railing. And to give it some contrast with the black and the gold, I put yellow around that frame. And that looks pretty good. And here are my daughter and son-in-law's dogs out there. We're babysitting them for the weekend. Let's go see if we can find out what they're barking at. This is got my light here for helping to see inside the ship. So this loudmouth here is Rex. And he's barking at the dog over there on the other side of the fence. And you can hear Kiwi. Kiwi is her name up here in the porch. Oh, there she is. Little Kiwi. She's just a sweetheart. Are you the star of the show today? You just barking because Rex is barking? And of course, His Royal Highness Mufasa is a little jealous with these dogs here, but he knows them well. They spend a lot of time here, so they get along pretty good. But Miss Kiwi, come on outside. This Rex loves being here because this yard's a lot bigger. He gets to rip around, have a good old time. So I got the flag on. Hooked to a pulley and a pull rope so they can raise and lower it. That's the dark colored line there. And I thought of a few other little things to do to it, but I'm getting to the point where you see things wrong that you want to fix that nobody's ever going to see. And you keep seeing them and you keep seeing them, but nobody else is ever going to see them. So you got to stop somewhere, somehow, sometime. You got to go ahead and stop and move on to the next model. So I do have to build a base for it. That's one thing I need to do. Before I move on and put that nameplate on there. Then we'll worry about a case later on. But the base is really the only thing I think left that I want to do. We'll sort of use this as a template to mock up a shape that's going to fit tighter to the hull, the front and the back, and a little bit shallower cutout for the keel. But I haven't exactly figured out exactly what I'm going to make it out of yet. I've got a few ideas, but every time you come up with a few ideas, a new idea comes up. So, anybody got any good ideas for a base? You know, unlike we did on the San Juan in there, that got pretty involved, but it really came out nice. As those are the gold arms there holding up the brackets that are on the bottom of the ship are I found those in a cabinet shop, but I can't remember what exactly they were for. But when I saw them, I said, oh, that would make a good stanchion for the ship, and raise it up higher in the case so you could see more. That's sort of the idea I need to do with this one, because we have that cutaway view that we want to highlight. So we need to get it up high. And so if you got any ideas, give me a comment. Doesn't matter how high it goes, other than, you know, we don't want to go too much higher than a foot, but as we got to compensate for that room in the case. But I would appreciate some comments to throw out some more ideas. I am fixing to reorganize the shop and get ready for the Surreal Royale. We'll be starting on that one next. And this is a new design, top quality, premium. Roger Ramjet man's got a little homework to do too, because that's all the instructions and everything are on a CD. So I'm gonna have to spend some hours here on the laptop learning about all these different drawings that they gave me. which will be a fun adventure trying to organize it, whether or not I should print stuff out or not. We'll figure that out when we get there. And the ideas that you do come up with for the base, you want to compensate for a spot inside the base that we can hide this battery box and still have access to it to change the batteries and be able to turn it on and off. The switch is there on one end. And I can make those wires longer if we want to locate that somewhere else, but that's just the one thing I need to take in consideration for the base that we build on that. So just throwing around some ideas here for the base. The proper shape to fit the hull. This is the conventional style with a board that it sets on. And, you know, you could build it out of much thicker wood and make it look a little neater and make it fit properly. So that would be number one. Another idea is similar to what we did on the San Juan, only we used brass legs instead of wood that hold up the things that mount the ship to. And I got two of these, so they're got a hole all the way through them, so theoretically you could shape the top so that the keel would fit in here and then run a screw all the way through into the keel, or build a thing similar to the San Juan over there that would hold the ship better, that mounts onto this. So that's idea number two. And last night I was just thinking about it and wondering, but you've seen dioramas before with things in a format that represents real life in a model. And we did a shipyard dry dock scenario with braces holding up the ship all along the on both sides, and piles of lumber and block and tackles and a crane and a ramp so they could get up to the top deck and things like that in a dry dock format. And then the same idea, only in the original construction of the ship in the shipyard, where it's on braces and they're building the ship from scratch. And there's a slide that the ship would slide down to into the water once the completion of the work is done. Most times in that case, the shipyard construction, there's no sails and the masts only come up to the first crow's nest, and then they usually take the boat somewhere else in the port and finish it out. That way they free up the construction area for a new ship to be built. So there's considerations there. But the dry dock scenario may be an option, where it's sitting in dry dock and it's got braces on it and there's no water in there, and the braces are holding the ship. So that's some of my ideas for building the base. Obviously these last two would be quite a bit of work for time purposes compared to the conventional or the handles. But imagining this in a case with braces and everything holding it up like it was in a dry dock or in a construction site where they're building the ship from scratch, it would really look cool. So what do you think? So I think we have achieved the look that we want, and it's almost a match to this. Which is what we're going for, plus a little bit more. See, they put the anchor rope down in the bottom of the hold. We got it up here on this deck. Well, we definitely achieved what we wanted to. I'm just looking back through all the prints and everything, trying to verify that we got what we want. Of course, we're going to build a base for it, and we'll make that part of the base. But life can't just be about solving problems. We've solved a whole lot of problems on this model. There has to be things that inspire you, that move your heart, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're excited about the future. What's about the future that we are excited about? Well, we have two completed models here that took about a year for each one. And looking back at plans and everything in the box and all the hours and painstaking research that we went through to complete this project, and other than a few pieces of wood and thread left over, it's time for the future. The Surreal Royale. Please help me with that pronunciation if I'm not saying that right. Of course, it's kind of hard to correct somebody's pronunciation in a text, isn't it? 1669. And of course, this one is all redesigned by Artesian Latina to stay up to date with the times. So we got a 15% off. Normally is $8.99, and we got it for $7.73. We bought some of these tools to go with our new model. I'm not sure what these shorter ones are yet. I'm gonna have to watch the video on that. But from the advertisements I saw for these tools, we made this little one out of a piece of stainless steel strip. It's probably less than a millimeter. I'd say that's a half a millimeter or so, 3/4 of a millimeter thick. We got that little cut on the end, and that worked pretty good for getting in there to push that thread up behind the baling pin. So now we got the real thing. See how those work. That'll be interesting. But this is our future. $700 in future. Good grief almighty. We'll do an official box opening and so on. I got to do some homework because this has no paper plans. Everything's on CD, which means I got to do some homework on the CD. Figure out where everything's at and what order it's all in. Yeah, this one's going to be fun. It does come with these sets of people we have to put together and paint. Which is nice. Well, the future is at hand. Thanks for watching.